About a few months ago, I reviewed the Philips Blue Seal MRI system, and I think it really got amazing responses. And today, I bring to you this. Actually, not this. But then, what if I told you there's an MRI system that uses helium that is just about a fraction of this 150 cl bottle? Now, that sounds amazing, right? I think this is the point where I would say grab yourself a cup of coffee as we review the Siemens Magnetom Free.Max 0.5 Tesla MRI system. If you have not watched my previous video on the Philips Blue Seal MRI system, shout out to Philips one more time. I think it's high time you actually checked it out. I did mention that helium is the lifeblood of superconducting MRIs. So simply put, for us to achieve superconductivity, we really need helium. But then there's a big problem, which is that helium is a non-renewable resource. While we need it for MRI systems as much as we also need it for other complex applications, we are not exactly swimming in an ocean of helium here on Earth. And so here enters Siemens with this groundbreaking technology. The Free.Max 0.5T system is rewriting the rules. This thing uses less than 1 liter of helium. Yep, you heard that right. Less than a liter of helium and boasts of a whopping 80 cm bore. So as you all know, I am not an engineer. I'm simply trying to make sense of these technologies. So Siemens actually uses what is known as the dry cool technology. And what this refers to is that instead of drowning the entire superconducting assembly in helium, what they've simply done is to create a sealed for life system that uses just about 0.7 liters of helium. What this means is that it takes away the need for quench pipes as well as complex ventilation systems. So think of this as the MRI equivalent of a low maintenance house plant. And I can really think of is that this system is really going to be compact and lightweight. I mean, you took out 1,500 liters of helium and you replaced it with just about 0.7 liters. Definitely that's a big win. So let's also talk about the 80 cm bore. I think that's really big. Most MRI systems actually use bores that are just about 60 to 70 cm. Now, if you constantly practice, you agree with me that this introduces some form of limitation, especially when you have to image individuals that are on the larger side. But the Free.Max system actually comes with a whopping 80 cm bore. Come on, think about that. An 80 cm bore. This is an absolute game changer. This is definitely going to reduce claustrophobia, which is simply, anxiety that comes with being in enclosed spaces. So what else makes the Siemens Magnetom Free.Max really cool? Now, in MRI parlance, there's something we know as the field strength, and most superconducting systems actually are within the range of the 1.5 Tesla. But here comes the Siemens Magnetom Free.Max with a 0.55 Tesla strength. What we are supposed to expect with this kind of field strength is a system with so much limitations, because we know that lower field strengths sort of come with image quality limitations. But with the Magnetom Free.Max, we almost get a free lunch. It uses what we know as the IV MRI technology, which leverages on the 0.55 Tesla's field strength to actually produce high quality MRI images. But how is this done? So I kind of think what has been done here is to leverage on artificial intelligence and deep learning to kind of enhance the quality of images that we actually obtain from this system, which is amazing. I mean, this system is able to manage patients with method artifacts. It's also very awesome for imaging the lungs, as well as producing high quality images, sometimes almost comparable to what you would get from a 1.5 Tesla system. All of these evidently culminates into a very efficient system. You have faster scans, good image quality, and basically much more efficiency from the radiology department. So here is the final part of this. Why should you care? I think first on the list, just as I emphasized in my Philips Blue Seal MRI video, is sustainability. With just about 0.7 liters of helium, that's a big win for the planet. You see, We are in the era where we ought to reduce our carbon footprint as well as how we use up non-renewable resources. And so with a system like this, which really provides us with flexibility, compactness, and some sort of helium independence, then I think we are in for a golden era in terms of MRI imaging. Also, when it comes to its use in mobile settings and smaller units, smaller clinics, this system is very much practical as we do not have to bother about complex things like the chiller and ventilation. Now, let me bring this home. When we come to the global south, you're going to have to agree with me that infrastructure is a big challenge. So if you're in the global south and you're thinking of getting an MRI system, then I think the Magnetom Free.Max 0.55T system is your go-to. It cuts overhead lifecycle costs and also makes MRI services more accessible for hospitals that can't drop millions on maybe a 3 Tesla system, for example. Just to also reference a recent occurrence in, I think, Portugal, where there was like lack of electricity for quite some time. With the Magnetom Free.Max system, you can be rest assured that your system is safe even when there is no electricity. The technology behind the Magnetom Free.Max ensures that the system is able to keep itself going even with extended periods of downtime of power. Now that is very practical and useful for us, particularly also in low resource settings where there are frequent challenges with electrical power. All right, for the last part of this video, I think the only question that is yet to be asked is what can possibly be the downsides of this system. I think first off, the emphasis has been on the advantages of it, which is massive. We have a 0.55 Tesla system that is able to give us quality of imaging that is comparable to 1.5 Tesla system. That is mind-blowing. Also, the reduction in helium consumption is also a very big win. I think that some things that could be issues will border around cost. Definitely the upfront cost could be higher, but again, as I said about the Philips Blue Seal system, that can be offset by the fact that recurrent costs as you move on, the life cycle of the machine is definitely going to be lower. And another thing could be the field strength. I think that might have an effect on probably some advanced imaging, and I think these are not so much to bother about. The advantages obviously overwhelm the possible things that you can be bothered about. So that's like my scope of the Siemens Magnetom system: ATCM bore, dry cool technology, deep learning based algorithm, and awesome image qualities. Should you get it? I think yes. So on this note, I'm going to be ending today's episode of SR MedX. Don't forget to pop the follow button, like, share, subscribe, and I hope to catch you again soon. Cheers.